Here.
James Baker.
Here.
Judy Grimm.
Here.
Mike Davis.
Here.
Sammy King. Tommy Matthews.
Yeah.
Charlie Thompson. Harry. Lee Sellers.
Here.
Bill Byrne.
Okay, we need to approve the excused members, and Sammy couldn't be here. So let's pleasure the board. Motion to approve. Second. Have a motion to James and seconded by Charles. Charles, any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have a copy of the agenda, board members? Chance to look over the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Charlie, have a second.
Second.
Trammell, any discussion on the agenda? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Secretary's report, Hilda.
I don't have anything to report.
We got the minutes.
Oh, yes. Actually, okay, thank you. So you have the minutes in front of you, and Vicki Sellers had a very important correction, and I'll let her mention it.
Under treasurer report, it says she hasn't moved $1,200 approved from membership into checking yet. That will be done this month. Actually, that should say that she hadn't moved any money from membership into checking yet. It will be done this month. And my plan was to leave $1,200 approximate balance in that account. So I'd be moving everything except about $1,200.
Big difference. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other corrections?
Yes,
Okay.
second page, number 13 is our membership. We only have 7 people on the Columbia County side. It should be 706.
Yes, 706. Okay.
People are moving.
Very much.
I didn't know they were moving out there.
All right.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the minutes with the changes?
I'll make a motion to.
Motion by Wayne.
I'll second it.
Trammell. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Let's move on to the treasurer's report. Vicki?
Okay. Treasurer's report. Everybody has a copy? The balance in our Seacoast checking account is $74,055.07. The savings account is $503.59. Our CD account is $51,623.33. And our checking account, membership account is $3,186.80. For a total of $129,368.79. If you'll notice on the P&L, there really wasn't anything outstanding this month that last month that took place. I did transfer on November the 26th from our membership account to the working fund account, $31,771.90. So that's why you'll see the membership account has dropped down to only $3,000. My plan was to leave about $1,200 in there, but in the meantime, some payments came in for membership, so we just let them ride. Any questions on the P&L or the report? Nope. Okay.
Any questions, board members? Okay, we'll accept the motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Motion to bond is seconded by
Gloria.
Gloria. Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So we have the president's report. Do we have a report from the president? Vonda?
She just said that she did the water test. And it will pass.
What's this here?
Yes.
What do you mean here?
Here at
Water park.
Water Park. They have to do the water test. Is it every three, how often do they have to do
I
it?
think it's every quarter.
Every quarter?
Okay, we'll move on then to the park manager's report. Bill?
Yeah, I had to repair before she could do the water test, I had to repair one of the valves on the pump out there. We've also had, the weatherhead replaced and the electricity is on at Brandon Park. Let's see, I've been not catching, but finding members in the parks, the ones that we have not designated with, but I guess this time of year, they just think they can still bring their dogs in, so tell them they can't. And, I try to, keep it in my log of who they are, so. Repaired one of the toilets in the women's bathrooms, they have that commercial toilet in there. So I had to have, Webb come and repair it was leaking in the handicap stall.
Is that the seal that goes into the wall?
No, it's an anti-siphoning valve. I think it might have, I don't know, it may have been a temperature issue. I don't know. I don't know that much about commercial ones, but now I went online and did some research to learn how to fix them. So next time I'll be able to. And, I had a member, stop me and state that a group of campers, have been coming over to Midpoint, stepping over the gate, being very loud, cussing, and their behavior was, where it ran off another group of people. He said that he's not sure if they had a key because they were stepping over the gate. They were coming over to use the porta potty, and they were camping at one of our members' places on the river. So.
Well, Bill, I probably wouldn't unlock the gate if I was walking.
Yeah. Just telling you how it was presented to me. So I don't,
Were you ever get any names or find out any information?
we got a general idea who they are and I know where we're staying
And
at.
hip camp, you mean? They were at hip camp?
They were at a hip camp.
Yes, it was, haven't finished.
They were at a hip camp
Oh, I know.
and, and Tommy, I think you'll be glad to know that's it.
Excellent report, Mr. Chairman.
Short and sweet, we like that. Yeah.
You need to have more friends.
Yeah, we did Christmas report.
Okay, we'll move on to the maintenance committee report. Tom, you have anything to report?
Now, on December 3rd, we were to have the electrician go in and do the work necessary for the bathrooms at Boat Ramp Park, Swanee County. But the building department stopped. They require extra data to give the electrician a permit to do that. So we're in the process of going after that data, which is survey. And I really need to make this legit. We need some funding designated for the surveyor. And I'm requesting a rough number of about $1,200 pay for the surveyor to get this done.
I have questions.
Yes.
It's a special survey, right? The elevation survey?
Right, sure.
Are we already on the surveyor's schedule to get it done and just, we need to get the funding so we can pay him when it's done, or are we even on a schedule?
Well, schedule.
Good. Do we know a date?
He said approximately 2 weeks.
From?
The time I asked him to do it.
Tommy, whenever they do a survey, do they, also survey the property lines or they don't?
This
Yeah.
is just elevation.
Doing the benchmark.
Okay.
Benchmark.
Yeah,
That's
property
what
line.
we're trying to do is see the electrical, this is what I understand. Is like the electrical, it's gotta be 1 foot above the 100-year flood. And I don't know where the flood is over there in the Boat Ramp Park. But, I'm assuming that the whole thing floods at 100 years. Once every 100 years.
I know.
So,
Okay, so you're doing a benchmark, he's not doing any, I guess it's.
Boundary.
that'll be necessary for
See,
the electric to get the permit.
Okay, he's treating that as a new service, then, that's what you're saying, they
Yeah.
killed the old service,
The old services.
that's why they did that. Very similar to what Brennan Park had to do when we had
To a
to,
lot more extent.
yeah, I mean, the original Brennan Park, when we had to put it up on a platform, we had to have an elevation.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't have that situation, but we don't know. We gotta get that benchmark.
Okay, and you're asking for 1,200, but we think we can do it for a lot less, we
Yeah.
believe. Okay. All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, since this is something that's absolutely necessary, and we're not really sure how much it's gonna cost, I would say that we do this as we've done in the past, and that is to ask the board to approve up to $1,500 expenditure for this project. If it costs less, obviously, then Mr. Matthews can inform the board that we won't spend as much.
Okay, we have a motion, second by James, motion by Mr. Trammell. Any further discussion on authorizing the survey? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything else, Tom?
So if we're required to build that up like we did at Brennan Park and have all that, well, I don't know what you call it, but the wood platform, thank you, that's put up. Could we go ahead and talk about that and get some money approved for that? So if it's required, we don't have to wait till the next meeting to get an approval?
We don't even have, is there anybody here from Suwannee County that is living near that park that might know what a benchmark elevation is? And we're all
Yeah.
familiar with our side here.
The big tree that's right there in the middle is the 100-year mark.
We're at on the tree.
It's, I don't remember how many feet up from the tree it is, but it's marked.
Okay.
They put something in the tree. Huh?
Over your head.
This,
Oh, yeah.
It's over my
Yeah.
head.
this is just for the electricity, it's not for anything else over there, is it?
Right, no, it's just the electricity.
But the meter box has to be 1 foot above the 100-year mark. And if they have to put the meter above 6-8 foot, they have to go plant those to get the, do the work.
And
That's what we're.
Is there an elevation drop from the bathrooms to that tree? On the ground, that you can see, is it about the same height?
Well, I was talking about Brennan Park now, the one at Boat Ramp Park. I don't know that there's ever been an elevation survey. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I thought you were
Anybody
asking.
here from Suwannee County that knows anything? Yes?
What are you trying to do? Find a benchmark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody, I came here after, like just 4 years ago. So I have no idea where, do you have a survey for it?
No.
No, that's
There's
what.
not a survey on it? You got, somebody's got
It's
it.
been 30 or so, 4 years ago, so we have nothing on that. They're gonna require,
It'll show you where the benchmark is on the survey.
yeah, I'm not ever familiar with any survey.
When we made all those changes at Brennan Park, we had not surveyed that either, and I ordered the survey for that. And I have a copy of it, plus there's a copy in the file, but for Boat Ramp, I'm not familiar with any survey being done there.
What you got, Bill?
One
We can
suggestion,
check with the building department in Swanee County and see if there's a survey on
But no, there's not.
There's not.
it. You checked on it?
I've checked on it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
I have one suggestion, if we're gonna be, I don't know how it's gonna cost much more, but we're having issues with the property lines too there on one side. I think we're in 2 feet from what I was told by Buddy Wood. That our property line, we got a fence going down there, but we're about 2 or 3 feet in. And if it's never been surveyed, that's something that I would suggest, if they're gonna be out there, I would.
Get a boundary survey.
I would have surveyed the property line on each side, so that whenever we decide to go repair the fences, we know where those fences need to go, and if we can add 2 more feet to our property, we need to do it now, so
So we don't have a dispute, the main thing. is-
Right.
Do you think that would hold them up if they were there to, those corners? Tommy, if that, when you're set up for a couple of weeks, or maybe whatever, I know for them to be there for the survey. So, would it hold them up to have to do a little more survey?
Depends on how much you're asking.
Just looking,
Boundaries.
just looking for corners.
Boundary corners of the,
I think that's two different surveys we're talking about.
it is.
Technically, it is.
No, it's one survey.
It's one survey, but they're doing two different.
Two different parts.
It has to be described as something else,
Right.
but it's one survey.
One surveyor can do it. I just think it has to be.
I'm just trying to
It'll
say,
take one
Take longer
survey
to
is-
get it.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna go the trouble to do it, why not do it all?
we're gonna save money too in the long run if we're gonna do these fences down the road.
That's that doable, Tommy, to ask for boundary corner survey corners?
That's what you all are asking me to do?
Can you add it to what you've already, they're gonna do the one survey.
Okay.
So can you ask them if they can do the boundary survey, at least for the four?
I'll ask them.
I know all that was originally surveyed, and there's, in a lot of cases, there's a steel pipe, in the corners, on most of these properties down here, and that may have rusted out since then, I don't know, but I've still got some on mine.
Only reason why I'm asking is because one of the members over there told me, he's been there a long time, that is, our fence that's there now is in on our property a couple feet.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you think 1,500 will suffice then if we're
On the survey,
extending
should
it?
handle that
Yeah,
survey,
just-
that shouldn't be any more than that, Tommy, I wouldn't believe.
And what about the platform if it's required?
That could be, if it's 10 feet high, or it could be 4 feet high, I have no idea.
No, I'm just saying, should we get an approval on constructing it ahead of time?
We'll have to probably have to get bids anyway on it, so.
Okay. You right.
What we just move expedition.
Isn't that right?
Okay.
You would say it
We
louder.
We could literally go ahead and get the service, if it's gotta be on a pole,
Yeah,
service could be put on a pole, installed, and then we'll figure a way to get it
yeah.
down. If that's the
Okay.
case.
The platform can be built later.
That's correct. But now they won't, we won't be able to turn the power on because you've gotta be able to have access to it.
That's what I was trying to get.
You're gonna be able to get to the,
No, but what I'm saying, we don't wanna slow down the electricity.
I
to get
know.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So,
I'm trying to cut corners.
yeah.
Huh?
tell you what I'll do, I'll just call an emergency, just a quick emergency meeting. If we find out we've got to put a platform in, I'll call everybody. But when we got something we can do. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we'll go ahead.
Perfect.
So we approved 15.
Up to 1,500.
It should be a lot less than that, but anyway, we'll see. Okay, anything else? Tom?
I can't think of anything.
How's Shirley doing today?
Doing real good.
Okay, we'll move on then to communications committee report. Rhonda?
Our membership stayed the same, so it's Columbia County, 706 members, Suwannee County's 256 members, and a total of 962 members. We just had the Christmas extravaganza, and that was a huge hit. We had 30-something kids,
Wow.
and they all had a really good time.
How many?
36, I think it's
Six something kids.
was how many has put their things in, and we had a couple that didn't show. But they did crafts and they had snacks, and then we did a little hayride and parade, and yeah, and everybody had a good time that was there. It was really nice.
Sure.
And then Key Day is the last Saturday of January, the 25th, from 10 to 2. There's something else. I guess that was it.
Is anything on the key days going to follow the same format as?
Everything's the same, yeah.
You want to go through that real quick?
Just, yeah, the things at the printer right now. The online portal thing is open. You just go to treepo.net, that's where it's going. Trupo.net, there's a little green button, you can hit renew and you can do it online. As long as we receive it by, I think, a week prior, then we can, we'll have the keys waiting for you then, but otherwise we will be stamping them as they come in. We're just line up out here, there's nothing really new, just come through. If you've already paid, we'll send you one direction, grab your keys, sign and go. If you need to pay, or if you do need, if you're new and you haven't joined yet, you just need to bring a copy of your, record a copy of the deed, need to fill out an application, and then a check for $175. We have not raised the dues, so there's still $175.
Thank you all. Thank the Christmas committee for your hard work putting that on.
Absolutely.
That's good. Okay, hours on.
72.
You have any new business before the board, before the end of the year? Okay, we'll move on to, old business, and, this will be the last board meeting for Sammy and for Mike Davis. I want to thank you all so much for your participation by the board and your volunteer helping. We have, one new board member, Bonnie, coming on board. She'll be on board in,
I sent you a text about
I
the
can't see
We got
without
Terry,
my
too.
glasses. And who?
Terry.
Oh, that's right, Terry.
And they're both here.
Okay, so we want to welcome them to the board, and actually we will, they will.
Terry ain't here.
Terry Boyette.
Oh, I thought
Terry
it
Boyd's
was
not-
Terry Hester's not here. Pretzel.
Couldn't say that another time.
We will be organizing board training after the first of the year for board members, and the new members will have about 90 days, I believe it is, to do their training. Our group should be able to put that on for us free. So we'll get some dates together for our new members. You will be the first ones to get your training. And then board members will have a certain period of time. The rule changes. We will require 8 hours for organizations larger than 2,500 lots. So we'll have 8 hours that we'll have to get done by next year. But I believe the first deadline's in June or July. So I'll have all that information ready for that time. They do it, Business Professional, DBPR offers that program. It's a Zoom program, and each board member would need to log into that so that you can be recognized and certified, so we can get that in the file along with our previous board training documents.
Is that something we'll do on our own, or is that something?
Well, we'll coordinate with you. We'll have the links and everything ready for you, and make sure that everybody's able to get on. They have those things do fill up. There will be training sessions, so we'll get some scheduled dates and get all that lined up for the board.
8 hours of training?
Wow.
4
You'll be
hours.
really smart.
And it's 2 different days of 4 hours.
All right. Is there any more old business we want to go over, board? Not hearing any. We'll open this up to property owners. Do we have anyone who wants to speak? The board? Or the community? Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna give some heads up on that waiting certification. You're probably gonna have to negotiate, try to, either gonna come out twice if it's anything like Columbia County side. You're gonna come out with your elevation cert, and then once you get your box done, they're gonna redo
Oh,
it.
they'll recertify that. That's correct.
Yeah. I wish I would have known that. I would have negotiated.
Back in.
Did they charge you the same rate?
No, they gave me, mine was a mess. My first box was too low. Clay said, oh, it's great. It's good to go. County said,
So Brit Survey, 2 years ago, gave us a quote for a topography and a boundary survey for $150. So I don't know what it's gone up to now, but that's what we were quoted.
Sounds reasonable. That's what some of the numbers we were looking at. They're in that range, but we wanted to make sure. So,
I know something we didn't do because it's being handled by the Busy Bees, but you tell them about the boxes you built that I think they're painted now.
I just did the blessing boxes for,
Busy Bees.
the big one, 2-door and,
The Busy Bees. Oh, yeah, here in Farmville.
they're 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide. Trying to make it as simple as possible.
Did you get permits for that?
I'll put them about 34 feet. Big Bear Trailer has, 4 floors. They don't even have to get concrete for them.
yeah, I saw the pictures. It looked nice.
Right now, they're being artist, by Kathy Riker, so she's gonna
Hotel.
paint some stuff on.
Characters painted on it.
Yeah, so.
Terry is here. Welcome, Terry.
That's what we were just saying. The other Terry's not here, so somebody has music
Here.
He had Terry Hester in his
Messed up
brain.
this one here, so this up here or something. Okay. Hey, Laura. All right, well, I guess we're about ready to,
Lee?
does anybody else want to speak to the board of the community?
Well, I'm Kim, and I just want to say thank you. My grandchildren was blessed by the Christmas, Santa Claus. They had a massive blast. I got a picture of you and Kari, and yeah, so that was wonderful. Thank you.
The other kids are wonderful.
Yeah.
It was fun to do.
Well, he just saw Santa Claus in the mall. But my daughter doesn't make it a big deal about Santa Claus. He does. Where he's getting it, we don't know.
Well, he was the first kid, as they were coming out of the A-frame,
Yeah.
he beamed right
We
to
went to the mall and he came off the ring seat and came off the
Street.
fence and talked to him, gave him a candy cane, and then we went shopping, and then he walked away and he was gonna go on a break. And he ran up to him and told him, Santa, Mr. Santa, Merry Christmas. I'm like, how old are you?
He's adorable.
He's
3.
and he's just,
He ran from the large pavilion all the way to the A-frame and grabbed away. It was so cute.
I'm like, oh my gosh, when I saw the video, I thought, oh, wow. And they had a wonderful time.
Yeah, they did.
They had a wonderful time.
That's what it's all about.
We did that because there are some kids here in Three Rivers that don't really enjoy the Christmas. So that, if you want something that the kids want, they're age appropriate, and so they're making memories. These are our future owners.
Well, my granddaughter, who is in high school, came with her friend, a little boy, she's not little, but they're high schoolers. So it's like, wow, you guys really did it good for teenagers to even,
Thank you for those kind words, Kim. Appreciate that.
Very nice.
Hilda, you have something to say?
Actually, I'm going to represent Laura Daly.
She's right here.
I'm right here.
She's not down here.
She just snuck in.
Nice to know I was covered. And actually, I'm going to ask about the A-frame. Members being able to use it or reserve it. We are on that.
I worked for 6 hours out there until I broke my tooth today, and I was on the phone with the dentist. But yeah, I'll be back at it. I have about 6 containers to move to the shed and a bag of trash.
Well, maybe by first of the year.
I as soon as I can, I will.
You'd be the first one that.
I will.
So will there be enough room for, other than an office, then you're gonna have a lot of open space?
Probably not, but
I mean, because we still got,
This
yeah,
might be your best.
'cause
bet
this
to utilize
is-
this area.
when they do this, we're going to move this stuff in there.
I'd like to have a look at it once you move things around. It's not that we need a lot of space. But that space is really nice for when I say there's only 4 of us or 6 of us, there's rarely more than 10 of us. And we don't take up very much space.
Is that for those,
We don't need
is that for those mellow yoga moments? or-
That's for the yoga moms, that's for the doing yoga, yeah, so it's a class that really isn't offered anywhere in
They need
any
that.
of the 3 counties that I know of for sure, but it is specifically addresses maintaining flexibility and health in an aging body. So as we age and we lose flexibility and balance, the younger
Yogurt.
teachers aren't really picking up those that coursework. So that's what we're doing.
Yogurt. All right, I didn't mention, I wanted to mention about the corridor here in the Greenway path. And I think that we've had so many calls and complaints about tubers illegally accessing that area, cars driving down into the wetland area in front. So just to give you an update, talked with the Swanee County Recreation Department and some of their technicians that are working on fencing. They're only responsible for the greenway, which they have a lease with Duke Energy for that greenway. So that changed the dynamics as it relates to opening up that area. So what you got to realize is that you have a lease area, you have these transmission lines that come through. You got a state park for 3 miles on the north side, which is highly regulated. You've got private properties, which we are trying to maintain all the way down on the south side. So what has happened, this grant has created an opening for the public. They believe that that is their access point and recreational point, is typically a nuisance. So I did meet up there, I think it was yesterday, with Suwannee County guys, and they've actually changed out the chain link on the carriageway and put in that metal fencing, the square metal. They fixed that on both sides. We're going to be meeting with, James and I are going to be meeting with Duke Energy's safety person, who's quite familiar with this problem. So they're concerned about it because, as you know, there was a death on that private property some 12, 15 years ago. And now they have got full exposure to the public. They are actually creating an attractive situation for the public. Especially when the parks shut down people from entering, it's going to be nothing but floodgates. So we're going to work on a couple of solutions to try to keep people out of that area. One solution, of course, is fencing all the way back on both ends against the trail. Yesterday they were putting the standards in on the Suwannee side so that golf carts can't drive through there. So that they did it on this side. They're going to do that side. The gates are there. The car gates will be locked, and that's there because the power company needs access to those transmission lines when they want it. So that's there, and for service trucks for the greenway. So one solution is fence all the way down the greenway. Another solution is across all the way to 27, close off the river. As you know, we've seen through the years a lot of dangerous situation with parents with young children trying to navigate all of that with young kids. And so that has created a concern for the company on their property because they assume full liability for that. So anyway, I think we're going to have some positive results with our meeting. They're very interested in that, and they made it a point to be here for a day to get with us to talk about all strategies. And they have a company that they use too to take care of the fencing, even mentioned who they were, whatever. So I feel a little more optimistic now that we've been able. Now, I've tried to call the Duke Energy number for a month, and every time I did, I don't have an account, don't know how to get through. Finally got to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then they kept sending me back Tallahassee. Tallahassee said, we don't have anything to do with that. And it finally got to a point where I got a guy, and he's former law enforcement. He fully understands the deal. So we'll be meeting with him hopefully later this month or the first of next month. And I think we'll do an exact plan. So I'm hopeful for that because that is going to do nothing but draw ill will right there with all these people coming in and accessing all the private properties. Be nothing but a mess. So anything else? So with that said, we will adjourn our meeting. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, January 14th. We'll welcome our new board members, and we'll be sad for our old board members leaving. Thank you.
Alternates also.
What? Of the alternates, yes.
You need a motion, don't you?
Yeah, we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Wayne, second by James. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
All right.
Shortest meeting we've